Yep, there it is. That's what everybody's afraid of. Okay, hey y'all, yeah, let's talk about these cameras. Stick with me through this video because we're gonna talk about several different things about the cameras, right? I'm gonna talk about rumors and misinformation about the cameras. I'm gonna talk about how the cameras actually work and how Saia uses them. And then I'm gonna talk about some other things that you might wanna weigh in on your decision whether you wanna come to work here. So first, let me say about the cameras, personally, I'm not a fan. I don't know anybody who really is a fan of these cameras. Personally, I think there may be some privacy issues, and me having a personal feeling that there may be privacy issues, or somebody coming on Facebook or YouTube saying that it's unconstitutional because it's an invasion of privacy, does not make it necessarily so. What it's going to take is someone to actually file a lawsuit against one of these companies that use the driver-facing cameras and let that work its way through the courts, which will probably take years, right? Now, if you're that guy or that gal that wants to do that, knock yourself out and let me know how it goes. But I'm not that guy. I'm too close to retirement to worry about that right now. I'm not that guy. So let's talk about rumors and misinformation. Now, I put a lot of videos out about Saia, how we do things, the pay and the benefits, and I always get comments, not a lot, I get comments on a lot of those videos that say, I'm not gonna go to work for a company that has a camera staring at me all the time, watching everything I do. Now, in a way, it's true, the camera's on all the time, but it doesn't record and save a video unless there's some type of an event, right? They call them events. And I'm gonna explain what events will cause it to save a video, right? So while there may be a camera looking at you, it's not gonna save a video except for specific circumstances, okay? Now, another complete rumor and false information is that Saia will fire you if you take a drink of water or eat some food. That is not true. If you come on here and tell me that you got fired because you were eating food, there's way more to that story than what you're telling or that you know. Other distraction problems, a history of egregious videos, I don't know. But you are not going to get fired just for taking a drink of water and eating food. Now, if you're opening a can of tuna and putting it in a stove, I don't know. If you're being distracted by what you're eating, then that could be an issue, right? But I've had videos, events that I've had a video event caused by something else. I think it was a rough road or something like that. It caused the video to save camera to save a video, and I happened to be eating at the time. But never said anything about the eating. It was obvious I was eating something. I'm not going to tell you what, but I was eating. I've had videos where I was drinking. Not a problem. Not going to get fired for that. So, those are some rumors and misinformation about the cameras, and I'm sure there's lots more I could come up with, but I don't want to take all day on this video. So, how does the cameras work? It will save an event. When an event happens, it will save, I believe it's 8 seconds before and 4 seconds after that that event. Now, I might have that backwards, but either way, it's 12 seconds of video what it saves. A little before, some after, and the things that will set it off, one thing is rough road. Get in a rough parking lot, like our Garland terminal used to be rough, and it would set the camera off. And the reason that is if you become incapacitated, fall asleep, and run off the road, the camera doesn't know whether you ran off the road or if you're in a rough parking lot, so it's going to go off for that reason. Now, if it's just a pothole, bam, it goes off, you're probably never even going to hear about that one, because the company that reviews the videos before they send them to our safety department will probably see that that doesn't fall within the parameters of sending a video, but it will set them off. Now, another thing is, if you're driving along and you go around a curve too fast, not necessarily too fast, but too many G's, it could possibly tip a truck over. It's going to record that. I don't think I've ever had one of those. I'm guessing the city drivers get those more than anything else, but it will record for that. Another thing, hard brakes. Someone just cuts in front of you. I've had that, and you just automatically, instinctively hit the brakes real hard. That's going to set it off. Now, what they're looking for in all these situations is, how do you react? What actions do you take to mitigate the issue that's going on? Now, the number one, I don't know for sure. I would guess and bet that the number one reason the video camera captures video is following too close. Now, they want you to stay more than 4 seconds, ideally 6 seconds behind, right? And you know, that's hard to do. I don't think I've had a video between 2 and 4 seconds following distance in a while. I don't know exactly why that is, or they're not checking them as hard on those. But what they're really looking for is under 2 seconds and under 1 second. Now, what it does is, you'll notice you go along and your distance warning will go off. If it keeps going off, and you stay there too long, it's gonna trigger a video. Under 1 second for sure, and I don't know what the parameters are. I think it's 4 seconds if you stay there too long. You stay there for 4 seconds, then it sends a video. But what they want to see again is, what actions do you take? Do you back off? Do you hit the brakes? Do you let the adaptive cruise keep you away? If you keep your foot off the pedal, the adaptive cruise will keep you back. Sometimes I find myself resting my foot on the pedal and the distance warning goes off, so I back off, get off of it, and I don't get a video. I hadn't had one in a long time. So, those are the reasons they go off. Now, if you notice, not one time do those videos go off because of something you're doing inside the cab, right? Specifically. Nothing you do inside the cab, except for hitting the hard brakes or steering too hard, is going to set off the video. They're all happen from outside. Now, that inside video is going to come on and check what you're doing. And I know that the number one thing that that'll get people in trouble is, when those videos goes off, is if you have that phone in your hand. That's going to get you every time, because the rule is, and everybody knows it from day one, you can't have the phone in your hand. Now, I use my phone every day for the GPS and weather, and every day I use it, but my phone is mounted. If the phone is not in your hand and it's mounted on the dash, use it all day long. Now, for weather and GPS, for things that you need to drive. Now, some of you say, I slip seat. I don't have a mount on my phone all the time. Well, I got a couple videos I'm gonna put in the description. One of them is how I put a magnetic mount for my phone. It's the best mount I found. It's in my assigned truck all the time. And I also did a video on, if you slip seat, how you can still use that mount. So if you find yourself slip seating, you go by that video, you can still mount that video, and you don't have to have the phone in your hand. Now, taking that all into consideration on how you're gonna, if you still are adamant you don't want to work for a company with cameras, you might want to consider that, because things in trucking, once they get started, usually spread. You may go to work for a company that says they're not going to use cameras, but I hope I'm wrong. But I have a feeling before long all these bigger companies will have these cameras. That's just the way things go, and you just got to deal with that, right? Other things to consider if you're going to consider coming to work for Saia. Line haul pay just went up to 72.5 cents a mile. Hourly pay for city drivers and our hourly pay when we're on the clock, $28.66 an hour. Overtime over 45. 401k, vacation. I've got 3 weeks vacation. I think I got it at 7 years, and I think at 18, you go to 4 weeks. So in a couple years, I'll have 4 weeks vacation. Stock options, all the normal things everybody has. The health insurance is the big biggie, right? I think health care insurance premiums right now for family at Saia is $47.50 a week. Don't quote me on that exactly, but it's right around there. I think it just went up this year. Before it was $37.50. And I've heard other LTL YouTubers talk about how they got a pretty good insurance plan and it costs them about $100 a week for family. About half that over here. And the reason I don't remember exactly what the premium is and when it went up is because I don't pay for it. I have it, but I don't pay for it. After 10 years, your health care premiums are free. I don't believe that's ever going away. It's always been that way since I've been here, and they've told us several times it's not going away. So, all those things to consider. With the cameras, if you're against the cameras, but you're going to want to go to work for an LTL company, consider all those things and the fact that even if you go somewhere else, you may still end up with a camera. So that's what I have to say about the cameras. My thoughts, like I said before, I'm not a fan, but I've learned to deal with it because of all the other reasons. So go down in the description, check the other links I had down there. If you want to come to work for Saia, check out the employment website that I have in my description. Check out my email, send me an email, and I'll send you my information, and you can use me as a referral. So check those out. Go down here and hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Hit the alarm notification bell to all so you get notified of all the videos. Like this video for me, and we'll see you later.